It is a very antiquated DOS-based system with very limited reporting abilities. You cannot do anything with it. It is not helpful to the business. And it is also very manual and cumbersome. Yes, we wanted to upgrade to get into this century. And then, of course, just doing research on the internet for points of sale system. We'd also go to other businesses. Hey, what's your point of sale system? That's how we started. But they were still around, which a lot of these do not. And they seemed to be the closest to what we were looking for. So we contacted a distributor for that point of sale software. That's how we found out that that probably was not going to be the right answer for our needs, because another company very similar to ours had actually was working with the software, and it was a disaster because it was just an off-the-shelf point of sale system. And our business is actually has a lot more aspects than the other company, and it failed the other company. So then we knew we had to find something else. This other company ended up going with FileMaker. And so then we started finding out more about that solution and what it could do for us. So we interviewed the owner of the company to find out not just about the software, but out his relationship with the developer and the company and just the entire process. He was very honest with us. They went through a lot. Unfortunately, we actually felt sorry for them, just the process that they went through. But at that particular time, it seemed that they were happy with their decision.
Then you found out that it didn't work so good.
And then it was after we actually started the development phase. It was actually because this other company, we have a business relationship with them. It started with their accounting department and our accounting department having a discussion because there was a lot of problems with invoices. And then also because of relationships with other people in the company, we just kept hearing more and more and more problems, which then almost put us in a panic mode.
And so there was thousands of dollars at risk.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And we are a small business who cannot afford to just throw away that kind of money, plus the time. It's a huge time investment. I had already spent so much time working on the software and learning it because I received no training, so I was having to learn it on my own, figure out how things worked, trying to understand it, what was right, what was wrong, etc. So.
And then more and more you were finding more about the horror stories of the other installations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again.
So it got scarier and scarier?
The confidence then, there was no confidence. We had no confidence that this was going to be correct. Period.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
And so you had to ask for a refund.
We did ask for a refund. We were not actually expecting to get it because they had spent time on it. So someone, needed to be paid. I understand that from a business perspective. However, because of the problems that they had with some previous clients, not just the company we talked with, they had no problems giving us our money back.
So they kind of oversold it, overpromised what it could do, and all the clients were sinking.
That is my understanding. Obviously, I don't want to overspeak on that because I'm not that company. I can really only tell you our situation, I guess.
Yeah. So then, under some good advice from a trusted source,
because we were fortunate enough to already have a working relationship with Don Clark and Robert Kwasny, we happen to know we had a developer right there. And I wanted to state, too, the reason we didn't initially contact Don, even though knowing that he was a FileMaker or developer, was simply because we thought they had already developed a basic, the core program we thought was already done, because our business is so much like this other company. So we thought that was done. So
That's why you put the deposit.
that's why we went with the other company. Yes.
So now Don is riding in on his white horse.
We hope. Yes. That's what we're planning on.
And the customization process is already happening,
It's just getting started.
right? And so far, what's been your experience?
So far, actually, it has been a much better experience. We have had video conferencing, lots of questions and emails, just trying to understand each other's terminology in business, which actually that was a frustration of mine with the other company, because there was some terminology. We were just using different terms for the same thing, but that obviously causes confusion, and this is like, let's get this up front, straight. And another thing that we asked about, because I had spent so much time playing with the other solution, that they will be doing training videos and sending them so that we know how to use the program. And then once we tweak it and get it how we want it, those will be available to our staff. And so they will be able to have training videos all the time, right there.
Baked right into the solution.
Right into the solution, which we thought was fabulous. Fabulous. Yes. So that's exciting. And I think this will go a lot faster, because we were with the other company for over 6 months without, several of the modules hadn't even been touched that we wanted, and so I think this will be faster. Yeah.
You're already seeing a different pace of implementation.
Yes. And just a whole different, I don't even know the proper word to use, but they really seem to want to understand. They're just asking for so much information from us. And so really trying to understand our current business, I think, to help us make it better, to help us be more efficient, which is exactly what we're trying to do. So.
And so the concentration is to first address problems that are making you less efficient and impacting your revenue stream, and then taking it up from there?
We hope, yes.
Yes. That is the goal.
That is the goal, exactly. Even though we thought that we really did our research and were confident in our decisions, so all of this has been quite a shock, and you just really never know. You can't ask too many questions,
right,
and get too many references. You just can't, and it's too big of an investment not to really. Don't rush it. And actually we didn't, but
but you still got burned.
But no, we didn't.
Almost got burned.
We lost some time, but I think things happen for a reason. So you might be thinking you're spending more, but in reality you're not.
Because a real professional can get it done twice as fast.
And they know what they're doing. And if someone's looking out for you, I guess, then it's time is money. So if they're saving you time, then they're saving you money.
There you go.
So
if there was a trusted agency that was very good about doing that research, and the hourly rate was slightly more, but the professionals were proven, referenced, and verified, would you have spent a little bit more money initially to make sure that you had a professional person or team to oversee your project for you?
That would be nice. Yeah, I can definitely say that would have been. I mean, that in itself saves. You might be thinking you're spending more, but in reality you're not.
Because a real professional can get it done twice as fast.
And they know what they're doing.
Can I ask you, how scary was your software purchasing process this time around?
I wouldn't say it's scary, but I would say it's been a huge time eater.
So if you had somebody that could have helped you through the process and certified the developer and the developer's company, would that have been a big help?
Absolutely. To have as much knowledge as you can about a product that you're that's a one-off creation is very helpful.
And you have an accounting background.
Correct.
You're a CPA and you worked for the IRS.
Yes.
And so how much more value would it be added if there was a new sheriff in town that was making sure that the developer and the software and the references and all that stuff was properly researched and the money was being handled by a third party so that everything stayed on track during development?
I think for this process or this type of process, it would be invaluable, really. Not something you can really place a value on, having that level of comfort of basically having an escrow agent involved in a software purchasing and creation transaction. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
That was well said.